What's going on, guys? We're back with another backyard simulator video. We're continuing on with the subscriber requested courses. Today we're playing Farrington Golf and Country Club. This is the Duchy course in Somerset, UK, courtesy of B.A. Bowden. So shout out to he or she for requesting this course. They said that this is their home course, so I'm a little nervous of playing. I'm assuming that they have put up some decent scores here and have played this a lot, so hopefully I can follow suit and not embarrass myself at your home course here. Just a few things before we get started. As always, Garmin Approach R10, Home Tee Hero, Country Club Elite mat, some 10x7 nets. If you guys saw the Wood Lake Park, I believe it was, video, that was the one that Martin suggested. Throughout the video I was getting some wonky readings, especially with dispersion wise, left and right with driver, and definitely with wedges. But I mean, all the shots, there were some that were kind of wonky. I couldn't remember doing anything differently with that after further thought, which you'll see in the comments. I posted that out of habit, what I used to do before the recent updates, I would put the ball in a tee and then calibrate it. I saw someone in one of the R10 groups mention that it helped out with some of the driver. I couldn't tell a difference either way with the old settings, so I figured it couldn't hurt. So I did on accident do that last time, so that was the only thing I changed differently. I came out today making sure that I hit probably 2 or 3 times the amount of warm-up shots I usually do. I'm already into a full sweat here. They were all with my 9-iron. I originally came out and I was playing with it, and I was still getting, weirdly enough, real wonky readings with my 9-iron. Some of them that were saying 20-30 yards left and right when they were relatively straight, or like I hit it fat and popped it up a little bit and there's just no way. So I'll actually show you guys. Every single video that you've seen me play, and when I'm out here with friends and family, I put this Tupperware container over the R10 just to protect against any ricochets off of possibly the bricks, probably not as much of that, but basically the metal frame underneath, and then some of those pavers having the ball come back and whack the R10. I've done it with it, I've done it without it, and there was no difference accuracy wise. In every other video until then, it was this. Today I came out here, I put this on top of the R10 like always, and I was getting wonky readings, so I ended up taking it off, recalibrating it again, both times with the ball directly on the mat, and it seems like based on my warm-up shots for the second session that I did, it seems like we should be all right with my 9-iron. Shots that I feel like I pulled a little bit left were showing left, and shots that were going a little bit right were showing right, without the wide dispersions left and right. So those are the only things that I've changed, and the other one was on accident. It could have been the fact that I teed up and calibrated it last time, which was why it was getting weird. It could have been the Tupperware, but that wouldn't make sense because I've done it every other time. And then today, who knows? So could be me, could be those two things that I mentioned. It also could just be that either the R10 or Home Tee Hero is for some reason buggy these past few days. It has been, and still currently is, about 90-95 degrees here, extremely humid, so the reel feels over 100. Maybe the R10 doesn't like the hot, hazy, humid weather for whatever reason. I played in similar weather before and it wasn't an issue, so I don't know. Kind of frustrating. Sometimes you come out, it seems really good, and then the very next day or the next time you come out, things seem to be a little bit off. So again, I'm trying to, it's kind of tough, like I mentioned in that video, that especially day to day, even hole to hole and swing to swing within the same hole, shot for shot, my swing just isn't as consistent. If I was a robot and it was the same every single time, I'd probably be on tour. So part of it could be me, but there's certain shots, definitely last time, that I felt like I was turning it over with the driver that were going left and they would show that it was fading. And then there were some that, especially with the wedge shots, I noticed that I hit real thin and they would come up short, and there were other ones that I hit fat and they would be long. So I didn't hit any wedges, I didn't hit driver, so you'll see real time on this first couple holes if we're experiencing that. So that's the housekeeping tips. Hopefully we do well with this course. Again, shout out B.A. Bowden for requesting this. If any of you guys have any home courses that you want me to play, or even just famous courses I haven't played yet, just let me know in the comments. Again, I have a list going for viewer and subscriber requested courses, so I would like to keep this going if we can. But all that being said, let's get into it on the first hole. We have a par 4 315 yard, dog leg, way dog leg right. So we're gonna aim I think about there. We may catch some of these trees. It's aiming us 292 out there towards the right, down 12, so it's gonna play about 280. If I hit my standard shot, which I have been with this driver, especially here, which is turning it over, putting a little draw on it, it should bring us back towards the left, so we'll see what happens here. Hopefully, between, I don't love playing without that extra protection on the R10. It's a $600 unit, so on the off chance, I'm not as worried about me, but especially when friends and family come over, if someone on accident hits a bad shot and really no fault of their own, if it just comes back and hits the unit for whatever reason, I'd be pretty upset. And again, I've done it for, I don't know, however many videos I filmed, 20 videos or whatever, and all the times that I played with them, and that Tupperware unit made no difference. So not sure if that was today, or again, if it's just the R10 by itself is being a little wacky lately. I don't know. So here we go, first tee shot of the day. Now, that wasn't great contact, and that definitely should be going left. Alright, that one, although we have to wake up the R10 again, that seems to be a bug with this update. I think that has more to do with the 4.2 update of the actual R10 unit itself, not the Home Tee Hero update. I don't love that. Hopefully that gets fixed. But so far on that first drive, that was a pretty bad drive, but it did reflect, I believe, pretty short and left. So it's going to be a real test once we play some wedge shots here. We'll be able to tell. But all right, let's focus on some good shots here. See if we can play well on B.A. Bowden's home course here. So we've got 142 down 15, so that's 132, 127, plus we need an extra 12, so we're back up to 139. That should be pretty close to a full pitching wedge here. If yesterday and when I came out today, hopefully we're good for this video, but if that was just basically a one-off thing yesterday, I mean, that's not horrendous, it's not ideal, but if that's a one-off thing, every 10 rounds you get some wonky numbers there for whatever reason, whatever I was doing or the weather out here was causing it. Again, not ideal, but not the end of the world if that was a kind of a one-off situation. Hopefully that doesn't continue, which would be pretty annoying. That was thin and started right. All right, that's pretty much what I expected. It wasn't a terrible shot. It was a little thin and a little right, so I think that picked it up pretty accurately there. I've said it once, I'll say it again. There have to be, especially with these recent updates, this is still relatively new. You got to expect some bugs until those get ironed out, and even just say 2 months down the road you still get some wonky days or wonky numbers, whatever. That's kind of to be expected with the price of the unit. Granted, you want to buy something that works well, but when you're trying to compare it to the gold standard of a GC Quad or a TrackMan, it's really not a super fair comparison. But so second hole, par 4. Looks relatively straight. We got some water on the right side, so we're gonna aim up here. We'll take missing the fairway over being in the water if we turn it over to the left. And if you notice too, at the end of that video last time, the microphone died, so it's kind of a frustrating day. It was going through 18 holes with trying to figure out what the hell was going on, and It ended up, the mic died at the end. You can still hear it, hear a good amount of wind. That's coming from the camera, but you can still hear it. And then today, there's some pretty loud thunder in the distance, so hopefully, knock on wood, we have accurate numbers and no rain and thunder. Popped it up and to the left. And although another terrible tee shot, the R10 gut at that time. So we should be relatively clear of this tree, I think. I think I'm gonna rip so up that way. 247. I'm gonna rip a 3 hybrid up that way. If we hit a tree, we hit a tree. Gotta try to get some yardage back after that suboptimal, put kindly, tee shot. That was struck pretty well. It's probably gonna fade towards the right a hair. All right, we'll take that. With the rough shortage, the power reduction with the rough, that was probably closer to 240-ish, which off the deck with a 3 hybrid, we'll take that. And I still didn't even get 100% of that. That was decent. That was probably 75–80% of completely flushing it, in my opinion, for the way I hit that so far. So, wedge shot. Let's see what we got here. We have 31 plus we need another 3. So we got about 34 yards. I also mentioned in that video that as of late, I haven't been hitting my wedges decent, or just been hitting my wedges pretty bad. I haven't had a whole lot of feel for them, both here and on course, but I knew for some of those that they were some pretty significant misreads. Popped it up a little bit to the left. I would assume it's going to be relatively close, but that should be short left, and it is. I think we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with the pretty accurate readings again, hopefully. Time to focus on the score here. Third hole, par 4. Some tricky layouts here between trees, water. We're gonna aim up there. Be nice if we can hit a drive off something that resembles the middle of the club face here. Same thing. And to be clear, that these past few drives is 100% on me, so I'm not judging the R10 accuracy-wise on those kind of shots. Those are just popped up terrible drives, but we'll see once I actually connect on one. So we're in the fairway. We've got 193 up 7, so we need 200. Do we have any kind of water or hazards we have to worry about? Looks pretty clear, so I'm gonna go at it with a 5-iron here. On course, that's a 200 club. So if we hit this well, should be in the area. That was struck decent, but it was hung out to the right. And the R10 got it. I thought we were past this, to be honest with you guys, for a few rounds there. A good, I would say, 5 to 10 rounds with these new settings. It was kind of just actually focusing on hitting good shots, not worried so much about the wonkiness and misreads of the R10 if it's picking it up accurately. So hopefully we can get back to that. It's kind of tough, have something like, instead of just focusing on good shots, you're basically worrying about 2 or 3 other things in the back of your mind. So we've got 28 up 3, so we need 31 plus another 3. We're at 34. That was straight, but it was also heavy, so that's going to be straight but short. And unfortunately that time the R10 actually picked that up. So we need 13, 14 plus another 1. We need about 15 yards here. That may have been a little longer than 15, but that wasn't a great shot. That one should be pretty close. I do recommend for all you guys out there to try, especially if you have little kids or some inexperienced golfers that are using the R10, or just for trial and error sake, to put ideally like a clear Tupperware type of container over the R10. But I've seen people say that they've even used like a Home Depot style big orange like 5-gallon bucket, non-see-through, over the R10, and it still works, which is kind of crazy. But I do prefer, like I mentioned, using that extra protection over the R10. So 4th hole, par 4, looks relatively straight. We're gonna aim up here. It looks like most of these, all these tee boxes are kind of elevated. We're playing from the furthest back tees like always, but we're gonna aim right about there. I do enjoy getting that extra yardage from hitting down into fairways. You're gonna see here, I'm gonna aim and hit up on it a little bit more, see if we can actually catch this one. Just clear over the net. That's so bad. That's probably pretty accurate. That probably went about 140 yards back into the woods. Reload on a ball here. Going to a Callaway this time. Maybe the Titleist had some bad juju. So 191 down 5, plus we need basically an extra 19. So that's, call it 186 plus another 20. So we're looking at 206. I think we're gonna hit a 5-iron. We may come up a tad short depending on how we hit this, but too much. I could hit a 4-iron, but I hit my 5 a lot more consistent, and then I think the 5 hybrid would be too much club for this shot. That was thin and low, but if we don't catch a tree, it should be up there. Not horrendous after that tee shot, which was horrendous. So 19 yards here. Hopefully get this within this inner circle, squeak out a par. Might be a tad, it's left, might be a little long. All right. I try to do my best, not only just so I'm not playing in silence here, but so you guys can see and so I can know. I try to call out before even looking at the screen what it felt like I did. And I would say, besides that last video, pretty much, vast majority of the time, the R10 reflects what I feel and what I actually hit into the net. So we've got 143 up once. We need 144. I'm gonna go soft choke down 9. Probably could if I close the face, get a pitching wedge there, but we're gonna try to get a smoother swing in here. Hung it out a little bit to the right, and it might be still a little short. Yep. Shouldn't have needed a little more club on that. Not choked down quite as much. So we're in the bunker. We've got 16 up 2, so we need 18 plus another 3 or 4 yards. So we're right around 21-ish, 22-ish, I believe, out of this bunker with the 20% power reduction. That was left. +2. That felt like a little longer than 9. Alright, we need a drive here. We got a straight par 4. We're going to aim up there to the right side of the fairway. I don't care if this goes, to be frank, on this drive, I don't care if it goes 20 or 30 yards either way, but this needs to go close to 250. Finally. It should turn over to the left, but at least it's out there. I didn't get all of that, so 223 might be relatively close to what that actually was. So we've got 216 home, plus we need another 20 because we're in the rough. So we're looking at 230-ish. I'm gonna hit a 4 hybrid. Still no rain. There is forecasted rain for tonight. Not a whole lot, but I'm hoping, again, like I've mentioned, that the rain kind of pats down and compacts this mulch a little bit. Should go left, but it's up there. Just a tad short. I hit that pretty heavy on the mat, so that was probably about, with the shortage of the rough, the 10% reduction, that was probably pretty close to 220-ish. From what I've seen with these hybrids, the select few times I've played with them on course. Still trying to get a feel for them, like I've explained. So we need 16 here, 10%, which would be another 1.6, so right around 17, 18 yards. Haven't had a chip in a while either. Could use one of those. That's gonna be short. It rolled up. We didn't need a whole lot, but I hit probably close to an inch behind that ball. 7th hole, par 5. Got some more of this water into play now. So we need 228 that way. We need, I think, if we actually hit one decent here, it's down 10 yards. We need 265 if we take that line. Maybe slightly less to cover that. I think we're gonna go for it. Put a little pressure on myself with the driver here. Club twisted in my hand. That's gonna be low and left, possibly in the water. Wow, we got lucky there. All right, still a long way home. We're gonna aim, and I guess we'll stay up here just to be safe of that water. I'm gonna rip the 3 hybrid. It was decent. It's gonna be left, so hopefully it carries that water. We got it to work out. This thing, when I hit it well, is very much so like the name, rocket balls. It does feel like a rocket launcher when I really connect on that one. That one had me going 250, which if I really get a hold of one, I've hit some that are pretty close to 270 off the deck, over 270 teed up, which is kind of crazy for a 3 hybrid. I have a 3 wood, which I don't even use, so that kind of takes that place. Don't have really any idea how far that 3 wood goes. Maybe I should just hit that off the tee instead of driver as of late. Maybe I'll be able to make some better contact. So 54 down 1, we need 53 plus another 5, which is 58. I'm gonna go 52 degree, right around a 50% ish here, 52. Popped it up, but it should be relatively close, I would think, yardage wise. All right, there we go. I think that 3 hybrid saved us on that hole. That was a good second shot. 8th hole, par 3, 187, up 2, so we're looking at 189, 190. I'm gonna go 6 iron. I think we're gonna aim slightly left just to be safe of that water if we can. Should, even if I hit this a little fat, should be able to get it there. It looks like there's a good 20-30 yards of grass after the water there. Struck it good. It was a little low and left, but it should be up there. If we aim straight on the green, it probably would have been pretty good. We're gonna be just on the left side there. We'll take that all day. Grab some Gatorade so I don't die of heat exhaustion. All right, 9th hole. We're plus 3 through 8. Not too bad. Par 5. Long and straight. A little narrow fairway, but let's see what happens here. I've always been a fan of the longer tees on course, but I think, like I've explained, because of this mat, you got the rubber, so I was thinking about it. It doesn't, the artificial turf here kind of holds the tee in. You don't have to push it down as far as you would into regular grass on course, so I think I might need to buy just some, instead of like extra long tees. I don't even know what the length of these are, but more so basically like standard length tees for back here. Seems like I would think that would help with some of those pop-ups hitting underneath it so much. That started right, but that was pretty close to the center of the club face just by the sound of it. Hopefully it comes back a little bit, and it's staying right. At least we caught one though. We'll take that. 277. I know a lot of talking this time, but I've also, the past few rounds, been trying to open up the club face just a tad with my driver. I was pulling pretty much 7, 8 out of 10 drives, basically the vast majority of the drives, pulling them left and sometimes overdrawing them. So I'm trying to just straighten it out a little bit, opening the club face. So that's why that one was relatively straight. It was a little bit of a fade, but hopefully we can dial this in here to basically between ideally 5 and 10 yards, left or right, pretty much every drive if we can. So 226 to the pin, plus we'll need another 20, so should be 3 hybrid territory. If we really flush one here, it'll be long, but if that doesn't happen and we only get it about 80% or so, it should be there pretty close. Similar thing with these hybrids too. I've been trying to play it more towards the front of my stance, kind of like a driver, hit up on it a little bit and opening the club face just to get a little bit more of a launch on these. Seems to be working. Famous last words. Oh, I'm starting to drizzle. Well, that was a bad shot with the hybrid. So 79, down 1, we need 78. Try to stop doing so much talking here, pick up the pace of play a little bit in case the skies open up. Get through these back 9 a little bit quicker. Need about 75-ish% here on the 52. That was a little thin and to the right. Worked out though. BA Bowden, if you're an R10 user, which I'm assuming if you're watching these videos you probably are, you'll have to let me know what you usually shoot on this course, R10 wise, and also I guess let me know too in person if those scores are relatively close to what you shoot when you're out there in real life. So we need 172. That should be an 8 iron. And I know the R10 is waterproof, but that extra Tupperware over the top gives me some added peace of mind if the skies did open up, for some extra water protection on top of the R10. We don't have that right now, but that was struck pretty good. Might turn over a little bit to the left, but that should be relatively straight. Good shot there, we'll take that. Man, it feels good to actually hit a ball pretty close to puring it and flushing it. 11th hole, par 5. Slight dog leg left. Pretty straight though, so we're going to aim up here. Just to the right a little bit. Don't think we'll be able to get 290, maybe, but Launched it kind of low, and it's going to go left, but again, should be out there. Hopefully we get a big bounce here in the fairway. Not supposed to have any severe thunderstorms yet, so this seems like it's barely drizzling. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but looking like somewhat of a sun shower here. 213, down 5. We have anything up there we're gonna worry about? So we need about 208. I think we're gonna go, we'll hit 4 iron. We'll see what happens. I was gonna go 5 hybrid. I think we'd put it past it if we actually caught one. Haven't hit this 4 iron in a while. I'm probably eventually, if I ever play a tournament for money or whatnot, I'll probably take this out of the bag completely. This used to be the go-to club for a lot of those early simulator sessions before the update. Hit it decent. It's going to be to the right, but it should be up there. That's probably 210-ish, 215. Yeah. A little too much club. We probably could have hit that if we had the same exact swing. Probably could have got the 5 iron there. Again, hot and humid here. I've been keeping the same settings, altitude, humidity, and temperature wise, but hot and humid here. The back is a lot warmer as I'm profusely sweating, so I'd imagine the swing speed is going to be a little bit quicker. Get a little more carry and distance out of most of these clubs. So we need 25 plus another 2. We need 27 yards, give or take here. Popped it up to the left. It's funny, some of those shots, that wasn't even that bad. It just comes off the club and it's not exactly what you were trying to do, so get a little frustrated with it, but can't be perfect in this game. What was that saying that I heard recently? Don't let good, or don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Something along those lines, which I liked. So 267 up there, but down 23. I think we're gonna hit 3. I'm gonna tee so that's what, 247, 245. I'm gonna tee up the 4 hybrid. Should be good there. I'll take being either long or short to the right versus hopefully we don't pull this left into the water. That's definitely short right. Probably should just hit this off the deck. Right behind a tree, which we always love. I think I'll be able to get it up and over that. I think I'm gonna have to hit, so we got 122, down 11, that's 111, plus another 10, so we're back up to 120. I think I'm gonna hit a slightly choked down pitching wedge here. Should be able to get up and over that tree, and if we hit it to the yardage I'm trying to do here, should get there pretty easily. For me, the way I've been playing lately, a full pitching wedge is right around 135-ish, 140. If I close the club face, I can get probably 145-ish out of it. It Was going a little left, hopefully not into the water. Alright, that definitely went further than 81 yards. Not sure if we caught the tree. I didn't see it on the way through. We might have. If we didn't catch the tree, that was a slight misread. That was at least 100 yards. It was up and to the left, but I'll have to watch the replay on that one. So we got 41 down 3, looking at 38. Popped it up a little bit to the left. Bogey. Much more enjoyable this round with home tee here on the R10 actually reflecting what I feel like I'm doing. I think there's been 2 or 3 shots that have been a little questionable, but compared to last time, we'll take that all day. It feels actually more like a practice session versus like trial and error testing. That throughout all the holes are trying to figure out what the hell's going on. So 13th hole par 5, we got a dog leg left, but we're gonna aim up here about 275ish to the right. See if we can catch a drive. Off the heel, club twisted, that's going to be pretty far left. Hopefully the rough kills it. Poor swing, poor contact. Now we got trees to mess with, most likely. So it's having us lay up. We got room up there. Question is, I think I'm gonna try to hit kind of a cutoff, low, slightly choked down 3 hybrid. Ideally get underneath this tree. This tree doesn't look super tall. We might we're gonna go 5 hybrid and try to go over it. If we hit it into the tree, we hit it into the tree, but this is kind of one of those shots. Granted, it'd be a little different on course if you actually hit the trunk of the tree, that it would bounce pretty crazily, but in here, this is kind of a somewhat green light type of get out of trouble layup type shot where I can kind of rip one up there, and the worst that happens is we catch the tree and it kills some yardage, I would think. That was sprayed to the right. Must have caught the tree, but it worked out. When in doubt, grip it and rip it, I suppose. So we got 201 to the pin. We should be able to get the 5 iron there. So we're gonna aim right there, should be good. We tend to pull the irons, still battle somewhat of a slice. So I would think we can get pretty close to 200 out of this. We are hitting up. It's slightly elevated, so it's 4 yards up to where we're hitting towards, but that was kind of low and towards the right. caught at least 2 of those trees, but I think we have a clear shot now. Didn't launch that one as high as I would like to. That wasn't a super clean swing contact wise, but the somewhat luck continues, I suppose. Better to be lucky than good, I always say. So 66 with the slope, plus we need another 6, so we're looking at 70-ish yards here. That should be over the green if it's accurate. Yeah, that was terrible. That was definitely pretty close to a 100-yard skull job there, so good job R10 on that one, unfortunately. Terrible. So we need 34 plus another 3, we need 37 here. Waste of a stroke. Popped it up into the left, hopefully it's not too long. Yikes. I didn't feel like a double bogey. What was that? That was a par 5. We got a 7. Did we get a penalty stroke possibly and I didn't see it from the trees? There were some not so great shots in there, but I didn't feel like that was a double bogey type hole. Maybe. We were 1 and then I think 2 with the 5 hybrid, and then we went, yeah, maybe. Then we went 3. Third stroke was the 5 iron. 4th stroke was the skull job over. 5 on, yeah, and then plus 2 probably was. That was a better swing. It's gonna go a good probably 10-15 yards left, but hole wise, I guess layout wise, we got it to work. That's pretty good. We'll take 279 right in front of the green all day. That still wasn't the middle of the club face, but that was closer. So we need 28 yards. Hopefully we can get this within the inner circle, get out of here with a bird, make up for that double bogey. At worst a par, hopefully. Left per usual, probably a little long as well, or a lot long. That was about 10 yards long. Plus 2 though. Gotta reload on some tees. So 15th hole par 3. We've got 160. Should be a nice stock 9 iron. Hit enough of them warming up, trying to get the alignment right, so we'll see. This won't be from a lack of practice or hitting this club if we don't hit it well. Just gonna double check. I don't believe I don't have any water or anything to go over. Thin into the right. Not a good shot, but it's not horrendous. That might be... I popped it up, but that should have... I think that was a little short, yardage-wise. Not by much, though. I would assume, if I had to guess, that was probably 10-20 yards short from how that felt. That probably was closer to a 140-yard shot up and to the right. I got the right and the up, but... So we need 42, down 1, we need 41 plus another 4. We need 45 yards here. We're gonna go 52. Get some redemption from that last shot. That should be decent. Hopefully it's not too long. 23. That was, again, I think that was a misread. That was longer than a 20 yard shot. Strange how it could be so good and then so bad. And also strange how for a while the wedges were basically the only thing that I felt were accurate, and now these past couple rounds the wedges are the things that seem to be have the most misreads. So 18 yards, we need 10%, so that's another basically 2. We need right around 20 yards here. I was a little heavy into the right, but we got it to work. It was thin. .16 par 4. Looking like a dog leg left. We're gonna aim up there. Hopefully cut that corner a little bit. Club twisted in my hand again. That was off the heel. It was going to be kind of low and left. And of course we have trees. This one looks like a bigger tree. I'm not sure we can get over that, so I think we're going to do a little bit of a smarter play here. We need 100 and that's 153 plus another 15. So we're looking at right around 170-ish. I think I'm gonna do a punch 7, kind of low into the right here. Put it back in my stance, choke down, cut off the follow through. We'll see what happens. This, in my opinion, is where the R10 shines. It's one thing if you can just hit shots and you hit good shots all the time, but being able to, or being forced to hit these low kind of punch shots when you pick a club and have to hit it a certain way. You don't see people practicing low punch 7 irons very often on the driving range. That was really thin. It was definitely low though. That one probably would have rolled out more on course. I didn't hit that really well, but the rough killed it, so can't be too mad at that. Unfortunately, that was only like 60 yards, but 87, plus we need another 8. So we're looking at right around 95. I'm gonna go 52. Well, that's 2 balls into the woods. That's going to be short. $18 yards left. I was debating on that last shot between a choke down, flighted down pitching wedge versus a full kind of 52. We now know what I probably should have hit. That was heavy, but it was straight, so I think that'll be decent. Double bogey again. Tough times. 2 holes left. 17 par 4 with a bunch of water. This should be fun. Do we have any kind of look? Probably not, driver wise. We could go right. I think we're gonna go right there, 267. I'm gonna hit the 3 hybrid off the deck. Hopefully, even if we catch one really good, will put us in a good position for a second shot into the green. Super heavy again. All right, 199 with the slope. I'm gonna go 5 iron. We're gonna close down the club face just a tad, and I'll take being 5 or 10 yards long versus hitting it fat and coming up short, potentially in that water. And that might be long right. That was hit decent and it was pretty thin. Oh, not as long as I thought, but that was definitely thin into the right and low. $17 yards with the slope plus another 1 or 2, so right around 18, 19, 20 yards here. It was a little left, but that was better contact. Bogey. Wheels are coming off here towards the end. We did have a decent score going. Still not horrendous. We're +9 through 17, so all right, final driver shot of the day. Got a relatively straight par 4. See if we can make some contact here. Not let the club twist in our hand. Not off the heel. That started pretty far right. Hopefully it comes back a little. I'm not sure it will. All right, although we are in the trees, it looks like we do have a shot here. So we've got 203 to the green, or to the pin rather. Plus we're gonna need another 20 on that because we're in the rough, so we need 220-ish. Gonna hit the 5 hybrid. Be pretty happy if we catch the green here. Get out of here with something close to a par. Oh man. Gotta wake up the R10. That was hit well too. It was low, but that was hit well and it was straight. Just gonna give it a second here in case it registers late. I gotta try to do that again. That one was also hit pretty good. That's gonna go further right than the first one, but we got close. As the rain starts to pick up a little. All right, 14 yards plus another 1.4, so right around 15, 16 yards here. Probably gonna be short left. Hit behind the ball a little bit there. Par to finish it off. So, all said and done, courtesy of B.A. Bowden, Farrington Golf and Country Club. This is the Duchy course in Somerset, UK. We ended up with a plus 981. Not too bad. Definitely not a tour level course. We would have liked to have been a little bit closer to par, basically plus 5 and under, ideally, but it is what it is. We hit 5 out of the 14 fairways. Not quite 50% like we'd like, so we'd like to be closer to that 7 to 10 out of 14 fairways. Greens in regulation, also pretty close, but we'd like to be closer to 9 out of 18 and plus. 28 putts, which wasn't great. That's almost 2 putts per hole, which the wedge shots still not great as of late. That streak continues. Plus I had a couple skull jobs that were pretty bad with the 52 and whatnot. Granted, we did have a few misreads in there, but all in all, it was more so me than the misreads, I believe. But front 9 we went 39, and then we kind of fell apart on the back. We went 42. So before it starts to rain, that's all I have today. Again, shout out and thanks to B.A. Bowden for the suggestion of the course. Until next time, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next course.